spoken and wise beyond his years, Haji tackles every new test with a sharp eye and a level head.
This is Phil Steele. You're listening.
Oh yeah, welcome into another edition of Neutral Zone with Fan Run Drew back here spinning some vinyl this morning. Some good classics right there, a little Van Halen with the David Lee Roth on vocals. Welcome in on this homecoming weekend. Welcome into the Neutral Zone presented by Fleet Tire, 111 East Woodland Avenue. Drew, how are you, my man?
Not too bad, Cloney, not too bad. It has been a hot minute since we've had a show.
It has.
Had some family came in town for the Oklahoma game. Obviously, last weekend, a bye week, not really too much to talk about. But, you know, for the most part, good to see the Vols back on the gridiron, get a W. A little shaky, very pessimistic 30-plus point win, in my opinion at least. But love to hear your thoughts on it, Cloney.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to have seen us be a little more crisp defensively. I would have liked to have seen more of a sense of urgency, like get a stop. Now, there was the turnovers, obviously, a few big plays where we, popped the ball loose. But my biggest thing is we still, there's like very little resistance. Like teams can just third and long. I mean, New Mexico State. Third and long, yeah. Drop back, we're rushing 4. We've even got numbers to our advantage in the middle of the field, and they pick it up, run, miss tackle. There's just a lot there left to be desired on the defensive side of the ball. And then, as you and I touched on coming in this morning, Joey, looks a little shaky. It's we're kind of seeing some of the things that were on the tape that we knew about from some of his previous stops. Just not a real sense of urgency from this team. I would be stunned, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope you call in, welcome you to call us. And call in at 865-966-3435. We'd like to hear from you today, of course. But save that number for all the great shows and content here on Fan Run Radio. But to call in and hopefully you're, I'm eating crow and you're telling me you're crazy. There's no way we weren't going to finish out and win 9. Or, win these last 2 games. I don't see it right now. It did not help sway my opinion of that or decision when I saw that trip to Gainesville and the kickoff announced at 7:45. That's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it'll definitely be tough. I think like one of the things that was concerning for me is we start off that second quarter with that impressive 99-yard drive for a touchdown. You're up 21-0, right? And then you get a 3-and-out, a couple, tackle for losses, a sack, and you put them, all the way back. And then you have an opportunity to make it 28-0, just shut the door, get it over with, and allow, your backups and allow, McIntyre to be able to get some, quality minutes and get some throws in. And then Joey throws an interception, and then we follow up after that with 2 straight 3-and-outs. And then into the half. And even then, it's I can try to we're up 21-3, but you're talking about there was a situation there with 1:20 left, no sense of urgency. I mean, hell, go ahead and just try to drive down the field, and it's just once again you just saw Heupel time and time and again, which has been my biggest thing this offseason, this season alone. It's just situational game clock management and play calling has just been downright abysmal.
It's abysmal, and if you're going to defend that, more power to you, but it's bad. It's really bad. It's bad when what appears to be, national, even some of the national media guys. I know Booger McFarland has been very critical of it a couple times. Kirk Herbstreit's been critical. He's going to be pretty fair though, and pretty, He's not going to pile on someone. But I know after talking to fans, Oklahoma fans, Georgia fans that have left the stadium, and they're just like, wow, man. I mean, we were big fans of Heupel, but he's just like regressed his game management, but it is what it is, man. I mean, I think this is where we're at. We're in year 5. We're spinning our wheels. If you want, if 9 wins is your, if that moves the needle for you, and the Griswolds can come up from Memphis and drop $2,000 on a weekend. UT's loving it. Dollar Danny loves it,
Of course.
but. To me, it is what it is. I mean, again, I don't want to set a tone here like, oh, my God, we lost to New Mexico State and the homecoming weekend was just a disaster. It wasn't. It was everything I've heard, everything over there was good except for still issues with people getting inside the stadium. I don't – how? This is not the Titans where they're building a new stadium and you don't even have no damn parking over around – the Titans, the current stadium they play in. This is, get it right. How can we continue?
Well, it makes you wonder
boxes?
too that, like, Danny talked about all these, hundreds of $1 million, renovations that they were going to do every single offseason to get to the standards. And it just makes you wonder, I mean, has there been some things that have certainly improved in there? Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like South Concourse has certainly improved and things like that. But it's still an absolute nightmare, game in, game out, trying to get in and out of that place, and I think it discourages quite a few people too, especially yesterday. I mean, I knew people were literally giving away tickets for free for that game, and people still didn't want to go, and I bet having that Neyland experience altogether certainly plays a role in that. But going back to, like, Heupel, though, and we'll get a caller here in just a second here, but I just want to make this point. There's a very good chance this team is going to finish 7-5 at the end of the year. And then you're talking about where I think personally, if they play, whatever bowl game they play, which will more than likely be Music City, if they finish 7-5, they're going to be so deflated. They're going to have no motivation. You're going to see players enter the portal, declare early for the draft, and prepare themselves for like that next level. And I think there's a high chance that, like, we're at year 5, we're going to go 7-6, and then you look at next year's schedule, and you're talking about we play at Georgia Tech, which will not be an easy matchup at all whatsoever. You play Texas, you play Auburn, you play LSU, you play at South Carolina, you play at Arkansas, you play Alabama, you play at Vanderbilt. The schedule is a gauntlet next season, and we're talking. I mean, we're in a point where I'm kind of like, has Heupel done a good job on cleaning up the program and getting us to a level, getting out of the ruins? Absolutely. First 2 years were phenomenal. But you can't tell me that we haven't stagnated as far as talent and play calling and just performance in general. Last year we made the playoff. Guess what? We didn't play a single elite quarterback all season long and had one of the easiest schedules in the country to go 10-2, where we really should have went 11-1 and had zero business losing to that Arkansas team, but we still did because Heupel always finds a way to drop a game that he shouldn't. And then the one time that we did play an elite quarterback, we got our teeth kicked in Columbus.
Oh, in the playoff, no question. Let's do this. We typically we'll honor this call. Well, like I said, we don't typically get a call right off the bat like this as we're unpacking some things, but we will take a call. Let's do that, and then we'll unpack it. I also want to go over the projected top 12 college playoff with you. Obviously, there's without any argument or resistance that it's going to be Ohio State number one. Right now, it looks like they're in a league. And everyone else, maybe you can make the case that Indiana's right there close, but I think they're on an island by themselves. Let's do this, though. Let's go to the phones and let's see who we have. Kicking it off right here in the Neutral Zone, presented by Fleet Tire. Welcome in, caller. Good Sunday morning to you.
Sloan, how are you?
Hey, Titans Bill, good to hear from you. Say hello to Fan Run Drew here. Is a huge fan of yours.
How you doing, Drew?
Not too bad, Titans Bill. How about yourself?
not too bad, buddy. I'm watching this boring pro football game here that's played in Madrid, Spain.
Spain.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the construction of the field, that setup. I watched a video on X, Twitter, and it was fascinating to see that. That's where Real Madrid plays their games, but just to see how that field and all the technology that's in it. I don't know what the playing surface is like. Apparently it's better than what we were seeing in, like, you know, Germany and some of these other, you know, nations that hosted the NFL. And I want to get your all's opinion on this, Titans Bill, too. Because I know Titans Bill has a pulse. He's a huge fan of Roger Goodell. But Titans Bill, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? I'll give you a chance to respond to that. Titans Bill, what are your thoughts on Fidel Goodell wanting to expand and play 17 games over there in a season? He wants one every 17 weeks of the NFL season.
First of all, I am not a big Roger Goodell fan. You want to talk about a commissioner that's corrupt.
I will agree with that.
That he has corrupt written all over his forehead, clone.
Yeah.
And that's a fact with my hand up. Any person here that would deliberately fix that AFC championship game, he wanted Kansas City in there because of what were the reasons? Taylor Swift.
Listen, I provided numbers 2 years ago. In fact, I know, Drew, you were sitting in with us, and we had someone in your chair, in your seat, different, but you were still a part of it, and we were talking about it. Mm-hmm. Those numbers, according to like Forbes magazine, the numbers that they were benefiting the league was off of Taylor Swift. If you go all the way back, Titans Bill, and every playoff game, the networks, it wasn't just what they were pulling in at the stadium in Kansas City or the venue, wherever the game was at. It was arguably a lot of home games in the playoffs for Kansas City with their track record, but it was mind-blowing. And now you're seeing a lot of this stuff coming out. Listen, they will never, the FBI, all that, I don't know that they'll ever take down somebody like Roger Goodell or that he had his hand solely in it. But I can tell you the league benefited so greatly off of them. And you're right, Titans Bill. I think he obviously had some to do with it, as did, who knows, maybe an official or two was benefiting off of it. And you're seeing it. You've seen it in all the sports. I think we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg with it.
I believe he paid them officials.
Well, I don't know that he did, but I think there was definitely some, I'm just saying, maybe some Gambinos of the world, some of these, mob families. You never know, Titansville. They're involved in sports. Don't let anybody fool you.
Yeah. But I am still going with your Broncos today over Kansas City.
I hope you're right.
There's no way you're going to get me to change my mind on that.
Well, you know what? Titans Bill, there's room on the bandwagon. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. My son is a huge Titans fan, and he's kind of accepted that Amy Adams Skunk is not going to be able to really turn this thing around just yet.
Ever.
Well, yeah. I'm wondering about that. I think that's definitely up for debate. But I agree. And Titans Bill, hey, you know what? I need some of that good mojo. We need the good karma because I can't. I'll watch, and I'm confident we'll be in the game. I just think Kansas City, the track record when Andy Reid comes off a bye, we no longer have J.K. Dobbins. It's going to be a lot different. I don't think Bo Nix will have great success throwing the ball. I do think his legs could extend some plays today, but I would be stunned if we beat them. And I've had a pretty good pulse on them most of the year. I didn't think we'd win in Indianapolis. I thought it would be a close game. But I just, I think if we play Indianapolis again with Patrick Surtain, I think we could beat them. Because I think you're starting to see Daniel Jones, the true Daniel Jones now.
Yeah, Daniel Along Came Jones. That was a big hit song for the Coasters.
Yeah, and now I will say Shane Steichen is a hell of a coach, and he deserves Coach of the Year accolades, and I think they've got a great weapon in Alec Pierce. I really like his game.
Yeah, and then along came Jones.
So Titans, Bill, I know we've talked about this before, but again, I know this question's been brought up, but I really believe with all the draft capital now that the Jets have, Drew, I would be stunned. And maybe Amy Adams, who knows? Maybe she goes out and sees a quarterback. Maybe it's Mendoza from Indiana, or maybe it's Ty Simpson, and she goes and gets another quarterback and causes all kinds of. I would not do that. I would trust Cam Ward in his future, but I would definitely be bringing someone in who can develop and can really build an offense. But you've got all this talk about, you got to go get a stud wide. Yeah, that would help. But I mean, yeah, if you could pull off a Garrett Wilson type trade and get him, but you're better off trading. If the Titans have the number 1 overall pick, the Jets would be salivating for it. And there's a reason why they put all those draft picks together. They're going to make a run for that number 1 pick. They had a chance at a Jackson Dart, and look at how good he's been for the Giants. Yeah. They've seen it in New York. He's now taken over that city. Meanwhile, Justin Fields is Justin Fields. He has some decent runs with his legs, but he's just not a guy that teams respect enough throwing the football and in the pocket. Titans, Bill, you have to trade that if you get that overall number 1 pick. You can easily get a first in the 26th draft. You could get a first in the 27th, and I'd venture to guess you could probably get a couple other picks in there, maybe a third or a fourth or a third and a fifth.
Yeah,
you got to make that move if you're the Titans.
Yeah, they need to do that, but will they? I wouldn't bet the house on it.
I don't know. I mean, surely you can't mess that up. I mean, again, new coach comes in, Drew. Listen, you're not going to hire – I don't think you're going to hire Gruden anyways, but I'm just saying if you were to get a Gruden or somebody who's a little more controlling, I think it's going to be like a Cliff Kingsbury, somebody like that, who's an offensive mind.
It better not be for crying out loud.
Bill Belichick.
It better not be Bill Belichick or it.
I don't think it'll
better not be that head coach at Ole Miss.
Oh, Kiffin. He's going to Florida.
Lane Kiffin.
He's going to Florida. I don't think Belichick will come back to the NFL. I mean, he's 70 years old.
Yeah.
I think this is his last hoorah on trying to make it work. And obviously, it's been a absolute disaster over there in Chapel Hill. But I mean, if I was Titans, would it be nice to have some stud wide receivers? No doubt about it. I don't think anybody's questioning that. But the main core of the issue, which has been a problem for the Titans for the last 2 or 3 seasons, is just the dreadful offensive line. And you need to find a way to be able, whether if it's trading with the Jets or doing like a 3-way trade where you could be able to drop down to maybe 5 or 6, get the top at least get the top guard and start from there. Because I mean, that's the thing. We don't know about Cam Ward. You could argue that Cam Ward has been underwhelming so far, but you know what? I mean, Cam Ward's also running for his life almost every single play. And
opposing teams is making the tackling dummy out of it.
Exactly, Titans, Bill. Exactly. And if you don't have an offensive line that can allow the quarterback to do his reads and let the play break down and let him find the guys open, you could have Patrick Mahomes or prime Peyton Manning on that offensive line, and it would still be unsuccessful. I mean, it's just – and that's the main focus that they need to focus on. And their biggest issue is the fact that they've been overpaying mediocre players from the free agency. You know, of Dan Moore paying him $80 million. I mean, that guy's a certified bum. I mean, absolute fraud of a football player. And this is the big issue with the Titans. I mean, it was just like we always go and overspend on those one or two players, try to make a splash signing, and it just wind up being duds and duds after time. You got Clowney, Julio Jones. I mean, L'Jarius Sneed as well. Sneed has been terrible for us. And so I would like for them to be able to focus on getting another good offensive lineman, try to build it around there. Maybe you could be able to trade that first-round pick for a lower first-round pick and maybe a couple second-rounders so that you could finally be able to build that. Because that's, I mean, every successful team in the NFL has a great offensive line, and that's just the number one starting point.
Here's what else I would like to see.
Okay.
And I would like to see them invite him as an undrafted free agent or a UDFA. I would like to see the Titans invite Diego Pavia into minicamp. All right, let's play a little game of what if, you and I, clone.
Okay.
What if Diego Pavia has a good minicamp, has a good training camp, and has a good preseason? Then they could sign Diego Pavia and cut Will Levis.
Well, I mean,
that second spot. That's what I would like to. That would be on my wish list right there.
You know, it's sorry to barge in here. Hot take though. I mean, I've looked at what the free agency list is going to be next year for the quarterbacks. I mean, I think it includes. I think Kirk Cousins could potentially be one, but Justin Fields and Sam Darnold as well. I mean, honestly, I would try to just get a veteran quarterback in there that's already been in the league that knows that. I despise Pavia. I mean, with a passion. I just think he's just an egomaniac, and I just feel like he just wouldn't be able to have the maturity to be able to play in the National Football League.
Okay, Titans Bell, I feel you. I understand you. I don't put a whole lot of stock into how a guy looks in training camp. As far as quarterbacks, everything is so vanilla, even those preseason games. Again, I would stand firmly. You trade out, if you get the number one, you trade out. And I'm just thinking needs. Drew nailed it right on the head. You have got to go and get minimum 2. You can do it in free agency too. And whether it's drafting, I would draft at least 2 offensive linemen for this Titans team. You could 100% with that draft pick, you trade your overall number 1. I'm trying to remember what the Jets, I'll pull it up here. But let's just say hypothetically the Jets have, let's say one of those extra draft picks is a 16 or something like that. You could trade one of those extra future like 4th or 5th round draft picks that would be part of the compensation, and move back up to about 10 somewhere in there, and you could get a anchor stud offensive tackle, somebody like and I may butcher his name, the Maugawa or whatever, the kid for Miami,
Francis Maugawa, yeah.
Yeah, you could get him or the guy out of Utah, Fano. He's another one. They're both literally tackles that are projected, maybe not on the Joe Alt level, although I know he's been hurt this year. He was a can't miss there for the Chargers. But to me, that's where you've got to go. And I know a lot of projections right now. Listen, the overall best player in this draft coming out, I know quarterbacks are going to go because so many teams are dependent on it, but Arvell Reese is a guy that is – most think that he is – I mean, if you put him at linebacker and he can run the edge too, and you put him with Jeffrey Simmons, that impacts your defense. That elevates your defense already as far as just run stopping, getting after the quarterback. But you have greater needs, offensive line. But knowing Amy, she'll be heavily involved. She'll probably take – though I love the guy – and I think he's going to be a fantastic pro. She'll probably, with like the third pick or something, want to take the running back Jordan Love or whatever from Notre Dame. I could see her doing something like that. Titans Bill. The other piece would be is on the back end of your secondary. You go get a Caleb Downs or somebody like that. The problem is his draft stock. He's going to probably go no later than, if I had to guess, no later than 15 or 16, and you're only going to have one pick in that top 15 area if you trade down. So you got to go offensive line, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And you got to get as many picks as you can and go out in free agency. The Chicago Bears and what Ben Johnson did, what they've been able to do with their offensive line is pretty remarkable. But they did a lot of that through the free agency.
Yeah, they play Minnesota today.
And I like Minnesota. I think Minnesota wins that game.
I'm picking Chicago.
Okay, you're just going against me today, Titans Bill, but it's all good. I mean,
also going against you in Denver and Kansas City. I still like your Broncos.
Well, I hope they win. I'm not going to put any money on either side. Yeah.
And I'm going with Tony's Eagles over Detroit.
Oh, that's my number one play today. I love the Eagles to win. It's like I was mentioning earlier. Sirianni is like 23-3 or 23-2 when playing at home and favored by less than like 4 or 5 points. They win those types of games. I think A.J. Brown may have a little breakout. He might have a big touchdown. I know he's been disgruntled, and he met with the owner and the GM, Roseman. But I think the Eagles, you're going to see them round into form. And I'll be honest with you, I know right now the Seahawks are getting a lot of love, but I don't see them going all the way in the playoffs with Sam Darnold. I love what they've done, and their defense has been very opportunistic. They're taking the ball away. Arguably, they got the best receiver right now on the planet, everything he's doing. I mean, I'd still take Jamar Chase because he's more, he's a physical, big receiver, can go outside, can go inside. But Jackson Smith-Njigba is unbelievable. He's unguardable. And but Titans Bill, I look, we might see a rematch in the Super Bowl. And sadly, I could see this being the Chiefs come back and win one, and your girl Taylor Swift, Travis will. Oh, I thought she was on your bucket list to see a concert.
No, I would rather look at somebody like Jennifer Aniston or Renee Witherspoon,
yeah,
or Nancy Sinatra, or Dolly Parton than I would Taylor Swift.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to see you finally throwing some love and not shade at East Tennessee's very own Dolly Parton. But you were a man. You owned up to it and apologized for your strong hatred. Not hatred, but But yeah, Dolly's beautiful inside and out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would, I've never met her, but I would like to.
Oh, I think that needs to happen. Maybe like this Friday down at, Calhoun's on the River for your birthday celebration?
Yeah.
That would be a great, I think it would be a great gesture by Dolly to come down there and, or, she needs to invite you up and maybe ride one of those Thunder mountain roller coasters with you, Titans Bill. Would that be, that would make your day, wouldn't it?
Yeah. My nephew Jesse interviewed her.
I heard that. That's awesome, man. That is great stuff, man.
Yeah, and Buddy, I am very proud of him. He's really making a name for himself as a broadcast journalist for News 12 out of Chattanooga.
That is awesome, man. Keep us updated on that. Titans Bill, last thing, and then we got to get a break. Your thoughts on the job that Josh Heupel has done? We're in year 5 now. Do you think he takes us any higher, can elevate this program? Or do you think it's about where it's at? Would you like to see him maybe leave for Ole Miss or LSU? What are your thoughts there quickly as we're up against the break?
One thing I believe he needs to do is maybe make a shakeup on his coaching staff. I think he's a bit too loyal with his coaching staff.
I thought he was going to say maybe needs to shave.
Shave
his.
He also needs to do that too. Definitely.
No. I believe the one thing, if I were a head coach, I don't want to be buddies with any of my assistants. It's like this. I'm just going to tell them flat out, I'm your boss, not your buddy.
Yeah, you know what?
If you don't do what you're supposed to do, I have no choice but to give you the out.
And to Titans-Bill's point, Drew, you think Nick Saban is literally like taking his staff out to lunch or whatever, or running down to Jason's Deli or something and be like,
I don't think him and Lane Kiffin that 2-year spell were ever getting lunch together and chatting over a cup of coffee. No, I mean, I agree completely, Titans Bill. That's like the one thing I've emphasized, and it's just time and time again, it's just been apparent that like just there's a lack of development in the secondary, and just defense in general has just not been to the standard that it needs to be. But I mean, Josh Heupel, in his 2 stops as a head coach at UCF and now here at Tennessee, he has never fired an assistant, ever.
And his recruiting has gotten, I won't say lazy, but it's
stagnant.
It's very stagnant.
Yeah.
Yes, it was the same there. It was a comfort hire because we couldn't get, maybe a couple of people on our list that, Dollar Danny got him in here at a decent discount, then gave him a bump, and but Titans Bill, man, always appreciate it. Go Titans today, take down the Texans, and
that's not happening.
I don't know that it will either, but actually no, you want to lose, so you want to get that number 1 overall pick, right, Titans Bill?
Yeah, that's going to be their Super Bowl right there.
Right. Die for tie.
Lose the rest of your game, so you can get the number 1 overall.
Right.
Pick. And I would have to say what they need to, what both Orgonzi and Amy Adams Skunk and also Chad Brinker need. I'll tell you what
they need to find something more useful to use their heads for than a hat rack, no doubt.
Yeah. Use their head for something besides a hat rack.
That's right. Titans Bill, man, always a pleasure. Have a blessed Sunday. Enjoy the games. And I won't be able to make it down Friday, but definitely huge birthday wishes for you. You're quite a gentleman. You're a good friend of the show, and you always bring the knowledge.
Hey, wait a minute. I've always been your friend.
You've exactly. That's a way to hold me to it, Titans Bill. You have
been a friend to you.
You have. I remember the stories all the way back when like Lot Boy back in the day, and Lot Boy would always. I mean, he was like, man, that's like the biggest. He's like one of the best guys ever, and getting to hang out with you and
that's when you ran 1180.
That's right. Yep. Titans Bill, a pleasure. Happy birthday. Have a great week, man. You deserve it, and we'll talk soon. Call us next Sunday, buddy. We'll break it down after hopefully a W in the swamp, but I'm not going to really hold my breath there, Titans Bill.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Enjoy the games.
Okay. Love you, buddy.
All right, buddy. Love you too. See you, man. Titans Bill bringing it there, breaking it down scientifically, as they say. Titans Bill, I hope he's right about my Broncos, but sorry, Drew, we didn't get his Mount Rushmore of women over 70. I know that's always
always a classic.
It's always a classic. Hey, I did mention about the projected top 12 in the playoff.
Yeah.
We're gonna dive into that. We'll unpack that. Why don't we'll get a halftime break here in the first hour of Neutral Zone, presented by Fleet Tire, 111 East Woodland Avenue. I got to get over there and look at the tires. I was just talking with my daughter the other day. It was like, oh my gosh, man, I need 2 tires for sure. And I said, well, let's look at it, because that's the thing about Fleet Tire, man. They have so many great rebate programs in place. And you get over there, Jerry, Terry, the crew over there is excellence. They're going to exceed your expectations. You might get in and get out of there with a rebate program plan where you can get 4 tires for the price of what you would spend for 2. Always great deals over there. 111 East Woodland Avenue. They have making it possible here in the Neutral Zone. More Neutral Zone coming up right after these messages on Fan Run Radio.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess, but isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah, they specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw premium vodka. Please drink responsibly.
Life never stops moving, and between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up, a tire designed for doers, a tire that's going to last, like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Dick's House of Sport at Westtown Mall is a destination devoted to sport, and it's your destination for exclusive events and experiences. Come visit a store like no other. Check out our 40-foot rock wall, golf performance center, Hit Tracks batting cage, and outdoor turf field. You can now rent our space for private events and birthday parties. Learn more about our events and exclusive product launches on Facebook and Instagram at Dick's House of Sport KNX. Dick's House of Sport, proud partner of Tennessee Athletics.
For the fans, by the fans. This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville. Welcome back to Neutral Zone.
Fan Run Radio right here, Fleet Tire making it possible. If you want to jump in, 865-966-3435. My man Drew will line it up, and you can talk to us. What are your thoughts on Tennessee? the whole college football, it's really, really wide open. Another snoozer update in the NFL in Spain. I think the Dolphins, when Titans Bill started his call, they had it 1st and goal, and they didn't get any points. They were still trailing 13-6, I believe. About to wrap up near the end of the third quarter. It was the last update I saw. Still 13-6.
Yeah. Still 13-6. 2:03 left in the third. Dolphins are at 3rd and 7 on Washington's 37-yard line.
Jeez Louise, what a
snooze fest.
Yeah. Yeah, and you look at Mike McDaniels over there, and he's got that those shades on. I mean, he looks half baked out of his mind.
He's trying to get fired. I'm telling you.
Yeah, clearly. All right, so the projected, according to ESPN, projected top 12 when that releases. Ohio State, the obvious number one. They could lose at Michigan in not this. Well, when is that?
At the end of the
2 weeks. Yeah, they could lose at Michigan and still likely be like the 3rd seed. Probably they would still host. Let's just put it that way. They'll be a host in that round. That first game. Mm-hmm. I know there'll be the byes and everything, but obviously they're going to want to win out. Indiana, is sitting at number 2 in that projection. They only have one game left at Purdue, and they've kind of struggled a little bit coming down the stretch here a little bit. So we'll see. Maybe they get, a little bit of that swagger back, and maybe they're just kind of like on cruise control and like, hey, we get into the college football playoff. Lights come back on for us. I don't know. A&M, I thought was literally steamrolling, and then, of course, yesterday I don't know. It was like they kind of like, it was like a kid that had some candy, and you offered it to Frankie. And then Frankie's like fist pumping and doing all his shenanigans, and they just pull it right away from him. It's like, give me that Reese's cup back.
I watched that video of him at halftime, like literally fist pumping up the air. I mean, like that moron thought the game was over. It's like, big dog. Like there is 30 more minutes. You're like at College Station. Like that is not a easy place to play at all whatsoever. And just so. If there was a moment that kind of like defined the Shane Beamer era at South Carolina, it is that video right there.
Yes. Well said. So A&M, obviously, they have the, Black Friday. It's usually that day after Thanksgiving. So, next Friday at Texas. And what's crazy is it's going to be the only ranked opponent. Well, no, I'm sorry. I misread that. The only ranked opponent remaining on their schedule. That's literally they have 2 games left, but that's a big one at Texas. I would still slightly lean to A&M, but, man, A&M, they slept through 3 quarters of that game yesterday.
All right, you want a hot take right here?
Yeah, I love hot takes.
I think they're frauds.
A&M?
And this is the reason why.
Okay.
By their standards, yes, this has been a phenomenal season, right? Mm-hmm. But if you look at their conference schedule and who they've played this year, I will double check on it just to confirm it, but I am like 99.9% sure that they have not played a single opponent that is in the top 9 of the SEC in conference play.
Wow.
Yeah. So South Carolina, obviously they haven't won in a conference game. Missouri, I think, is like at 8th or 9th in that top. LSU, awful. Arkansas, awful. Florida, awful. Mississippi State, mid. Auburn, awful. That's their conference schedule. That's who they've played all season long. So, Missouri is their best opponent, which is 9th in the conference. They're tied with us 3-3 that they have faced this season.
Wow. That's crazy. A team that is not awful, though I don't feel like their defense is what we've grown accustomed to seeing under Kirby Smart, is Georgia. Their offense is really starting to, one of their big question marks, most thought coming into the year, was at the quarterback position. But, man, he has really stepped up. Now, he's making plays with his legs, his feet, but the scramble, the design rollout on that first touchdown yesterday was beautiful. And he threw it away from the defender where his receiver could run into that window. And that was a great throw. I mean, they still have Georgia Tech, which anything's crazy happens in that series is just crazy. Georgia Tech with one loss, and what was it last year? Was it last year was like a crazy, wasn't it like 7 or 8 overtimes with Georgia? I'm almost positive. Well, we could look that up. But anyways, they were another team yesterday that struggled and just found a way to win like A&M did. But they have Georgia 4. 5, they have Texas Tech, which I don't know if you've watched them, but they've been pretty impressive this year. I don't know that their schedule's been that great, but
that linebacker they got, that Jacob Rodriguez.
Oh yeah,
that kid's a monster.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he's definitely playing on Sunday.
Yeah.
6 is Ole Miss. So you've got all this. Where's he going to go? Where's Lane going to go? Oh, but Lane says in the post game, I love Ole Miss. We love Oxford. Yeah, you can love Oxford, but when, Florida or somewhere like that can give you $3 million more a year, and oh, by the way, it's easier to recruit there. It's, either place would be an upgrade, but part of that with Ole Miss is that it's not. You kind of want to see that from a coach like him. Is that fire in the belly? Does he look forward to that challenge of going to more of a place with more pressure, a pressured cooker? I think that we're going to learn a lot about Lane Kiffin over the next.
I think every coach tries to want to be able to get at that very top spot. And not to say that he's not that already in the SEC, but let's be real. There is a massive gap as far as program size, expectation, and just resources and NIL in general when it comes to Ole Miss and Florida. And his family is from the Florida area. His ex-wife went to Florida. Mm-hmm. There's been those ties there, and let's just be real. It's a far more attractive job, and when you're going to get offered $14 million a year, allegedly, who would say no to that? Especially at a job like that. And that's a fan base that is just dying to be, just back at just being relevant,
Right.
And they've been a doormat for the last 15 years. And if there's one program right now I feel like that is currently in the slumps, I could absolutely make it back to a college football playoff caliber, level. Mm-hmm. I hate them, but it's absolutely Florida. No doubt about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and looks like a touchdown from in Madrid. Looks like Dolphins score. They're setting up for an extra point. I didn't catch who got the touchdown. But anyways, I think if you look at this, though, now follow me on this. Ollie Gordon. Okay, Ollie Gordon touchdown, 13 all. And but, okay, so follow me on this, Drew. Ole Miss, they have only 2 road wins. September 6th at Kentucky. That was they owed Kentucky from last year.
Yeah.
Kentucky basically knocked them out of the college football playoff. They were all set. And then at Oklahoma, and I kind of get that. Oklahoma's defense is phenomenal.
Legit.
And, I didn't think they would beat Alabama, but I also was unaware of I can't believe I didn't even think about it, but Venables has really owned Alabama. His days when he was at Clemson. Yeah. So here's the other piece of this, though. I almost wonder if Ole Miss has a bye week this week.
Mm-hmm.
Then they play the Egg Bowl at Mississippi State. Again, another Friday, Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving, okay. I don't know with all the all the speculation. What's Lane going to do? What's Lane going to do? And to have a bye week? Listen, he's great at getting a game plan together. But I would wonder. I mean, he should. I mean, something needs to come. If he's staying, I think he would have already came out and said it. I mean, do you agree? Or that's a big distraction for 2 weeks, and then you're going to go down there to the Cowbells and play. I'm just saying because there's a lot of I mean, that's a state where one kid from Mississippi didn't get recruited by the other school, and you just never know. A lot of that, there's always some underlying motivation there. I mean,
I don't know if you watched his press conference last night after their win over Florida, but they asked him about the Florida rumors or whatever, and he's just like, I don't want to take away this moment from these kids. These kids have worked really hard for this win, and if
sounds
they
like
deserve it.
He's leaving.
I mean, that would have been a moment where be like, I've no interest in Florida. I'm focused here. Happy here, whatever. He didn't dispute that, denied it all whatsoever. And the thing is, as well, they're out of the SEC championship. Even if they do beat Mississippi State, if either Alabama or Georgia wins out, I mean, either or is going to be in it. And the thing is that Mississippi State's got a hell of a lot to play for too. I mean, they're 5-6. I mean, they were. Just downright awful last year, winning 2 games. And Levy's done, all things considered, a good job. I mean, he's coached themselves out of a couple wins for them this year for sure.
Right.
But compared to last season, massive, massive improvement. I mean, you're talking about a Friday at noon kickoff with a bowl berth on the line. That could be, huge trajectory for Jeff Levy and that Mississippi State program. In Starkville, I'm telling you, I would, and I'm sure probably Ole Miss is going to be 5.5, 6-point favorites, but I would absolutely hammer Mississippi State money line on this one because I think there's always that one game that Lane Kiffin has every single season where his teams just crumble at the biggest moment. And the truth be told, I think even if Ole Miss loses this game, I don't think they're out of the playoff because the entire conference is just cannibalizing itself at the moment. But it's still, with all things considered, I could absolutely see them crumble with all the hype and the speculations with with him in Florida, and see Mississippi State win that game for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. With that being said, let's just say Mississippi State burst their bubble. They're right now projected to, you could arguably flip them and Oregon. I think they're very similar resumes, between Oregon and Ole Miss. Both right there. Ole Miss is 10-1, Oregon 9-1. But then here comes Oklahoma in at 8. And by the way, I guess Oregon's really only tough matchup is a home date against USC. I think they handled them.
Yeah.
Oklahoma though 8-2. Again, meh. Offensively, but they've got a quarterback who puts his, sort of like Pavia, he puts his team on his back. He makes just enough big throws to move the chains, but their defense is is balling out. And so really, I mean, that's it. They're in. I don't think they have. Yeah, they don't have any more games.
They got 2 left.
Oh wait, Oklahoma.
I'm
sorry, I'm looking at this wrong. Okay.
Oklahoma has 2 left, and they're both at home. But Missouri at a noon kickoff, which I think they'll take care of business. And then
LSU. You're right. I was looking at that wrong. Okay. Yeah.
I think they win out. Missouri's not very good, and LSU obviously has their own massive list of issues that they're dealing with at the moment too.
Yeah. Alabama at 9, right behind Oklahoma. Alabama wins out more than likely.
You think they win at Auburn?
I do. I think they will. But they're going to face what? Georgia again in the SEC?
The only way. I think Texas A&M's a lock because they're undefeated.
Well, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
If Alabama wins out, then they'll play Texas A&M in the SEC championship.
That's right. Yep.
I don't know if there's any. I think the only way that Georgia and Alabama would face each other is if A&M loses to Texas, and then obviously Georgia and A&M have that one common opponent, which is Texas.
Yeah.
And so
now here's a hot take of hot takes. You want a hot takes and sausage right here?
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
No, I'm not going to predict this. So don't run to the pay window and then be like, Clone, you owe me money. You cost me money. But can you imagine Notre Dame sitting at about, they're 8-2. They're a lock to get in as long as they don't slip up. Well, their only two remaining is against Syracuse and Stanford. Two abysmal football teams, like really bad.
Yep.
Like they are a 94% estimated by ESPN Analytics, 94% chance to win both games. Then you have BYU at 11. Here is interesting. This is sneaky this weekend at Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati is not bad. They're pretty damn good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. They Utah beat Cincinnati 45-14, and those are fairly similar. I actually think Utah's playing a little better than BYU is right now, although BYU looked pretty good yesterday. Mm-hmm. BYU they have as the 12th team, and they have next weekend they go at Kansas. So if you had the brackets right now, Ohio State 1, Indiana 2, that's regardless of how the Big Ten championship, all that game plays out. I think if that game's close either way, I think they would just flip them 1 and 2, 1 whatever. But and then projected with A&M beating Bama in the SEC championship game. This is according to their projections. Then that would force Georgia up because even though Alabama made the championship game and lost to A&M, they would slide Georgia up to 4. So your four buys, teams with bye: Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, Georgia, Big Ten, SEC flavor. Then your games, December 19th and 20th. This is where it gets interesting. Navy as the 12 seed, American champ, would play at Texas Tech, the Big 12 champ. They got Miami sliding in as the ACC champ, playing at Ole Miss. Notre Dame at Oregon. Alabama at Oklahoma. So that would be interesting. Mm-hmm. Let's just say hypothetically, if that happened, let's see if you and I would agree there. Texas Tech would take care of Navy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Miami at Ole Miss. I don't trust Cristobal. Though Miami's got a lot of talent,
I don't think it's a lock they win the ACC.
I don't
honestly.
either. I don't either.
I think it'd be Georgia Tech that they'd play in the ACC title game.
Yeah.
I kind of like them a little bit more.
Yeah. Now you want a long shot ticket because they still are technically, mathematically in it, but Narduzzi and Pitt plus 600 to win the ACC. If they win out, they would get into the ACC championship game. They'll win the last two games, but they're tough games, obviously. Notre Dame at Oregon, I wouldn't put it against Notre Dame. I don't think their defense is good. Obviously, their defense last year was elite. They got to the, they got to the final. Cash me a nice ticket there too. But Bama at Oklahoma, that would be made for television. Can you imagine, Bama literally doubled them in offensive yards yesterday, but a pick six and a huge sack and fumble recovery in their own territory. That was the difference in that game. I mean, Venables and that defense ate Alabama's offensive line up.
Yeah, and I think Mateer, if he was actually fully healthy, I honestly think Oklahoma would probably be undefeated right now because I looked at the stats yesterday. He only threw 132 yards against, Alabama. He only threw 150 against us.
But boy, he moved the chains on a couple of crucial third downs with his arms and his feet. And if he can get it from the arm from the passing, that team is scary.
Yeah.
That's a scary team.
Definitely.
So all right, we need to top of the hour. We'll get a break. But when we come back, we'll finish this conversation, take your calls at 865-966-3435, and dive into some NFL action right here on Fan Run Radio. Come on back.
Your tax refund belongs to you, not an identity thief. Over $6 billion in tax refunds were flagged by the IRS for possible identity theft last year. If you're in a bind this tax season, LifeLock can help. They monitor and alert you to identity threats you'd miss on your own, even if you're careful with your personal information. And if you do become a victim of tax-related identity fraud, LifeLock has U.S.-based restoration specialists ready to help solve your identity theft issue. Plus, all LifeLock plans are backed by the $1 Million Protection Package, meaning LifeLock will reimburse you up to the limits of your plan if you lose money due to identity theft. Let LifeLock help protect your financial info, so all you have to worry about is what you do with your tax refund. Go to LifeLock.com, save up to 25% off your first year. The promo code is HERD, promo code HERD, to save up to 25% off your first year. LifeLock.com. Identity theft protection starts here.
Hey, Pack Rat. Yeah, you. Are you moving cross-country and you just don't know who to call? Call us right now. Listen, you've probably seen one of our containers in your neighborhood. But did you know that we can help you move anywhere in the United States? It's real simple. We'll drop a container off at the location you tell us to bring it to. You pack up your valuable possessions at your leisure. They stay safe right in your home. And when you're ready, call us. We'll come and pick up the container and give you a scheduled date of when your furniture and the other possessions will be at your new home. So if you're moving across country or across town, be a Pack Rat. Join the Pack Rat family. Call Pack Rat right now for your free quote. See y'all later, Pack Rats.
Call 800-965-1298. 800-965-1298. 800-965-1298. That's 800-965-1298.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you can donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-639-8620. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It'll be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car. And as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. Call 1-800-639-8620. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-639-8620. That's 1-800-639-8620.
Are you ready to show off that confident, radiant smile you've always dreamed of? Well, here at Knoxville Smiles, we're ready to turn your dream into a reality. At Knoxville Smiles, we're more than just a dental practice. We're your partners in achieving optimum oral health. From routine cleanings and checkups to advanced cosmetics and restorative procedures, we offer a wide range of services in an environment that makes every visit a positive and comfortable experience. At Knoxville Smiles, it's about more than just treatments. We're focused on creating a welcoming environment where you feel like family. Our state-of-the-art facilities are designed with your comfort in mind, and our friendly staff is always ready to address your questions and concerns. Don't wait any longer to achieve a beautiful smile you deserve. Schedule your appointment at Knoxville Smiles today and take that first step towards a healthier, happier you. Call us at 865-539-1776 to book your appointment today, or just visit our website at knoxvillesmiles.com.
We kick off this hour number 2 neutral zone from Madrid.
The Commanders had it 3rd down, 3rd and 1, ran it up the middle from the 1, stuffed. 4th and 1, Mariota overthrows Zach Ertz, So they are now attempting a field. Oh, actually, no, that was 4th down. My bad. I thought they. I'm sorry. I looked at that wrong. So yeah, the Dolphins turnovers on downs, but man, 13 all, and you have the ball in your own 2-yard line.
I got give it to Krosky Merritt. I got him on fantasy. Just give him the damn ball.
Or let Mariota run a bootleg. He's ran like 2 long runs today.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Dan Quinn, and I mean, last year you can mask some of these the coaching malpractice when you've got an MVP level quarterback, and they had it last year. You also saw him when he shouldn't have been playing him, and he literally could have ruined his career. I mean, when you're talking about, luckily for him, I don't believe it's his throwing elbow, but that was pretty gruesome.
Yeah.
And again, he owned it. I'll give him that. I mean, I don't. Look, we have a coach over here that, and I love Heupel, but he never owns up to the clock management, just some of the stupidity that we have seen him do in tight situations. But it is what it is. 1st and 10, again, from their own 2. Miami they're back in a hole there. So anyways, we are into the NFL hour, but I did want to finish up on those games, the projected college football. Listen, we're breaking it down right now, but over these next 2 weeks, when we sit in here after, the first week of December, and we're talking about these, these first round, of course the first round bye, but those first round games don't happen until the week before Christmas. So the 19th, I believe, and the 20th are those games, Friday and Saturday, not to compete with the NFL, though the NFL will have some Saturday games. It looks like Devon Achane with a nice long run to get out of the hole there for the Dolphins. Actually, no, that was Ollie Gordon. But anyways, I would say if you get into that quarterfinal matchups, these are at the Cotton Bowl, the Capital One Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and the Sugar Bowl would be your quarterfinal games. Here's how it could play out, Drew. Let's just see where we're at. I would have Texas Tech beating Navy, though they've got their quarterback, and their offense looked really good yesterday. I would take Texas Tech. Texas Tech's got some. They've got some playmakers on both sides of the ball. Mm-hmm. Well spent in the portal for them. But I would say Texas Tech, Georgia would be a fantastic matchup. And what's interesting on that is, I believe, if I'm looking at that right, that'd be the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. So listen, Georgia travels, but that could be very interesting if I'm reading that correctly.
Yeah.
Then Miami Ole Miss winner to play A&M in the Orange Bowl. Miami, perhaps. Look, everybody was writing them off, and again, I'm not the biggest Carson Beck. I'm not the biggest Cristobal. But I mean that's assuming they beat Ole Miss. And again, a lot still could happen. I'm with you. I think Ole Miss could get bumped by Mississippi State in 2 weeks in the Egg Bowl. But then how about the Notre Dame Oregon winner playing Indiana? I mean, Indiana's, I'm not saying they're coasting in on fumes, but this has not looked like a Kirk Cignetti offense. He's very aggressive. They've not looked the part here lately. Their defense has been a little flat. And again, maybe it's just, hey, we're on cruise control. We're guaranteed, even if we get into the now I think they end with Wisconsin, which should be an easy win, but
they beat Wisconsin yesterday.
Oh, okay.
31-7.
They have one more easy game though.
I mean, their schedule's a complete joke. I mean,
Yeah,
they only I think top 10 opponent they played this year was Oregon. And I mean, they technically played Illinois, who was number 9, but Illinois is like 6-4 this year.
Yeah. Okay, so Alabama-Oklahoma winner would then travel to Columbus. Or not to Columbus. That would be the Sugar Bowl. Man, I'll tell you what. I still think Ohio State's the clear favorite. They've got so much talent. The quarterback has developed and delivered, and you've got a guy that I know you would love to see in Jeremiah Smith wound up in Nashville.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, who wouldn't? I think he looks like the next Jamar Chase, potentially, just same built.
Yeah.
It looks like the Dolphins. Dolphins are having to punt it back to. Fumble. So it looks like we have a fumble by the Commanders, and the Dolphins recovered. So I don't know. I mean, again, just these games, these early games. I mean, it's like I was telling my buddies. I thought, I don't really trust either side in this game. If I had to, I would take Miami. But it was clearly an underplay. Opened at 47.5. It dropped all the way to 46.5. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is like the easiest unders. These early morning games, the NFL. I don't know. I know the time zones are different over there, and their bodies, surely they've gotten over there in plenty of time to get acclimated. But there's a correlation here. These games are horrible.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to watch, teams turn it over and kick field goals and, somewhat exciting when you're third and goal, and you see a team go for it. But yeah, like you said, one of their best players. I mean, that drive, they got it down in there, and Dan Quinn did not. Literally, your two best players. I would say Zach Ertz too. I get him because that's about all they have to throw to. But you're telling me no. Krosky Merritt or your boy Deebo Samuel. I mean, neither one even get a sniff around the goal line. But anyways, 13-all. It looks like this game is headed to a potential game-winning field goal either side. But I don't know, Drew, as far as any team that is on the outside looking in. Now, Navy, it looks like they're projecting Navy will slide in. Is there anyone left or outside of that? South Florida's bye-bye. You can forget that.
Yeah. I don't know if Navy is necessarily a lock either.
I don't either.
I mean, I look at, the American Conference right now, and, they got to, they still have to obviously face Army in about 3 weeks from now, 3 or 4 weeks from now. But they also got to play at Memphis next week as well, which is going to be a tough one for them. And I mean, if I'm going to have to put my money on a team that I believe that has the best chance of making it, it's going to have to be either North Texas or Tulane. I think one or the other. I don't think USF lost their hopes after that loss yesterday. I don't think ECU is good enough necessarily. And I mean, North Texas is still 9-1, and their remaining opponents are Rice, who they should win considerably, and Temple as well. And I'm going to double check, but I don't think Tulane has. Yeah, Tulane hasn't also. They haven't faced.
Would a James Madison?
I think it certainly is possible, but I'm intrigued as to what's going to be the. the criteria to be able to get in, because if you're going to be based off record, then it should be either James Madison or North Texas. But I don't know if it's going to be strength of schedule, quality of wins. There's a lot of variables.
Now here is a Dejan pick. When you talk about what I just mentioned, to win the ACC, Pitt. But if you want to say, hey, just to get in the college football playoff. I'm just looking to see, because a lot has to happen to them. Yeah. Georgia Tech, for instance, would have to win. Right now, Vegas, they're not usually wrong with this. Scamdall has them minus 194 to not get in. So what I'm saying here is Pittsburgh to get in the playoff at plus 1120. if they get into the ACC, they'd have to win the last 2 games. But if they get in, I just think those odds are crazy not to sprinkle a little something.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is,
I mean, are they going to beat? Obviously, are they going to beat but a Miami of Florida is plus 300 to get in the college football playoff.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Pitt's going to have to win at Georgia Tech and beat Miami in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah,
to be able to
they host Miami though, right?
Yeah, they do.
Okay,
at the end of the season, which is possible. I mean, I think they could certainly do that. But I'm looking at it right now. Miami's already 4-2 in conference play, and then SMU's got Louisville on at home, and then California on the road as well. You might have a situation where, honestly, I could see Virginia making it in. They're 6-1, 9-2 right now. Their final opponent is Virginia Tech and Charlottesville.
Wow. Okay.
And Virginia
what
Tech
a job,
is
Virginia.
awful.
I mean,
yeah,
that's
well,
everyone was on Duke yesterday to beat them too. I
Yeah.
stayed away from it. To me, when tons of public money comes in and everyone is betting it, I just go, I need to stay away from that. Even though I thought Duke would win, I'll pass. But man, I mean, if you're looking for, you can even, I know with certain sports books, you can actually put multiple teams to make the playoffs. Right now, you can get BYU plus 245 to make the playoff. Now, if you don't think, I mean, more than likely, are they going to put them and Utah in? Utah is plus 350. But let's just say hypothetically, Utah in and Miami of Florida in. Man, all of a sudden, plus 350 and plus 300, that's plus 1297 if those two get home for you.
Yeah. I mean, I think like Miami's going to have a lot of variables, like, or things that go towards their way just because of the fact that they already have 2 losses. I mean, now they got, they have Pitt and Virginia Tech at the end of the season.
Right.
And Georgia Tech has, both Georgia Tech and Virginia have only one more conference game left with, Tech hosting Pitt and Virginia hosting Virginia Tech as well. So, I see personally, if I was going to have to make an educated guess on what that ACC title game is going to be, it's probably going to be Tech Virginia. But, I mean, you never know. I mean, Tech could absolutely drop one, against Pitt. I mean, Narduzzi, his teams do come in waves. It seems like every now and then he'll have a 10-win team. And, I mean, this team has been solid all season for Pitt. And, I mean, Miami certainly has the talent to be able to make the ACC championship and make the college football playoff. It's just, can they be able to play all 4 quarters?
Yeah.
Which is something that they've kind of struggled all season against, solid competition.
Yeah, and Virginia, you spoke of Virginia, they are to make the playoff plus 290, to not make the playoff minus 385. Again, if I was going to sprinkle, I would go to make it, but again, a lot has to happen. But James Madison, though, hold the phone, they are plus 172. So, I mean, they're still, that's, of course, they're out of the Sun Belt.
I just don't know what their criteria is going to be.
I don't either.
If you're going to base it on quality wins, I mean, you could probably make the argument that Navy's got that top 25 win over South Florida, even though there were 24. But, I mean, the other quality opponent that they have played, Navy has, they lost to North Texas by 2 touchdowns, and they lost by 39 to Notre Dame, who's considered to be a playoff opponent. And so, I mean, I think there's just got to be a better explanation personally. I mean, they've done a pretty good job as far as the Power 5 conference goes,
right,
what the criteria is, but there's not really a criteria for the group of 5 best team on who gets in. Last year you didn't have to worry about that because of Boise State being undefeated and having a Heisman contender at running back, but this year there's 7 or 8 teams that you could absolutely argue that deserve that spot.
I agree. Current national championship winner odds, Ohio State, the front runner, plus 185, Indiana plus 500, A&M coming in at 3rd, plus 800, Notre Dame 4th at plus 900, Georgia plus 11. I mean, this is crazy. And then just to make the national championship game, Ohio State minus 120. Look, I don't say anything's a lock, but that's pretty solid. They get back. Yeah. Indiana, though, I'm still not sold they're going to get there. Plus 195, A&M plus 290. Again, this is to make the national championship game. Again, the bracket, how the teams are seated is going to make a huge difference. So I'm not going to make a futures on that, this far out until at least, like you said, I mean, we could be, you could see the seeding coming out of the Big Ten title after the Big Ten championship game could greatly change. Not necessarily 1 and 2, still probably going to be those two teams. They would just switch, swap their current position, seeding. But it would be more about, okay, who does each team face? Regardless of the schedule, I feel like Ohio State's the more likely to get there. But who would Indiana face if they jumped Ohio State and played? The matchups are everything. But I'm looking at that and just trying to find value to make the championship game, though we all like Ohio State at minus 120. Who else stands out to you? Georgia plus 420. I don't like Notre Dame as well this year, plus 490. I love their coach. I think Love is a fantastic running back. Offensively, they're as well as anybody right now in the country, Notre Dame, but I don't think this is the same defense. Certainly Oregon. I feel like Oregon is kind of that team right now that everybody kind of threw dirt on and said, they're not. And then Texas Tech. I mean, Texas Tech is right there. Bama. Could Bama, Oklahoma plus 1,300 to make the natty?
I'll be honest with you. If there's any of those bets that I would throw $10 on, I would say Oklahoma, and this is the reason why. To make
the championship or to win it?
To make the championship.
Yeah, so plus 1,300.
The reason why I say that too is that you have to take in consideration that John Mateer has been playing effectively with a broken hand.
Yeah.
The last 4 or 5 games. They get about what? They're not going to make the SEC championship, which is probably going to benefit them more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So that leads them to having an extra week of, resting, whatever they need to do. I mean, you're talking about there is a chance that he would potentially have 3-4 weeks of rest to let that hand heal by that first playoff game.
Yeah.
And that's enough time for a hand, for a fracture basically to be able to fully heal. And so and he will be able to gain way more confidence, and that's the thing he's been struggling with is just the lack of confidence on being able to make those throws because he's playing with 4 fingers.
And yes, and again, I'll agree with all of that. The thing you talk about with a fractured hand, anything like that involves gripping the strength of a football, unless just let's just say they just got bamboozled and got screwed in the seeding and they had to go to a Columbus or an Indiana and play in a cold, snowy environment. I don't see that being the case because when you get into that second round, all those host cities, that's warm weather or indoor, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So I agree with you. I think that team is literally rocket. They're trending up in a big way. In fact, if you would like that plus 1,300, when we're on the air here even next Sunday or in 2 Sundays, you're not going to see that number at plus 1,300. It's probably going to be more like plus 800, plus 850. You better get it now. Yeah. If you're really in on Oklahoma, and I'm with you. I'm gonna sit down after the show and probably put something together. If you put them and Ohio State, again, you have to look at the seeding, so it's kind of a guessing game right now. But let's just say if you thought it was Oklahoma, Ohio State in the championship game, man, the odds are plus 2967.
Yeah,
nearly 3,000. And like you said, if you're going to drop 10, you're going to win 306.74. And if you're going to get crazy and do 100, you're talking about almost $3,000. So Yeah, though, I mean, I like that. I'd probably, to be safe, I would take Ohio State off of there and just roll with Oklahoma and that defense and Mateer, leading them on a deep playoff run. Man, that, last year when we were on the air and those seedings dropped, and if you'll remember, I remember when Tennessee, FanDuel had it and then dropped it. And then a buddy of mine texted me while we were on the air and said, FanDuel knows something. We're playing at Columbus. It was literally, I remember the screenshot when they sent it to me, and then all the other books and everything just went blank. And it was like, oh, they know where Tennessee's playing. It's in Columbus. It's this time. And then they moved it. Yeah. But, I mean, we just, obviously that was, Tennessee was struggling at that point. I think there was some, after the Arkansas loss last year, especially the injuries, especially at linebacker last year, Tennessee was just never the same defense. I mean, arguably a top 10 defense for most of the year, and then all the air came out of ourselves. But, I mean, anything else in the college-wise? Let me ask you this, and again, the NFL hour is here. If you want to jump in with us, we'd love to hear from you. 865-966-3435. Again, Neutral Zone presented by Fleet Tire, 111 East Woodland Avenue. All your tire needs. Get over and see the fine folks at Fleet Tire. So, Drew, anything on the hardwood, anything basketball-wise? Tennessee, when you've kind of got a melting pot of talent, it's going to take some time to get everyone on the, being cohesive and on the same page. I like the fact that we have so much depth in the paint. And it's from a rebounding standpoint, I love the athleticism of our bigs. I like our guards. I just don't think we've had enough time together to gel, to come out of those timeouts and to get tough baskets. But when you've got bigs that are athletic, can run the floor, can get second chance points, and that's going to help you until you can get that figured out. And I'm confident that Barnes and the staff will get better offensive sets, better rotations. With how much talent we've got.
I mean, look, anytime that you got a basketball team that is especially, like Tennessee, where you've lost 12 or 13 guys, and not just losing 12 or 13 players, but losing, just key, just huge, personality-wise, been foundation of programs, Zakai Ziegler, Jemai Mashak, all these guys. Those are massive, massive gaps to fill. There's no denying about that. But the thing is that Barnes has done a phenomenal job, raiding the portal, getting some of these guys that, are from overseas, like Clarence Masamba, Ethan Berg from Israel, for example, where these guys have the, physicality and have that experience of playing, professional ball overseas and bring it over here. And so the talent's there. There's no denying about that. Nate Ament, he's already quietly averaging 20 points a game and almost 9 rebounds a game and almost 4 assists a game as well. So he has just been so good, and he's one of those guys that's just going to get better as the season goes. You could see it. He is just I think he's just a 10% extra in physicality away from being a guy that can be able to average, over 22, 23 points and even averaging around 17 or 18 in conference play. Another guy that I think everybody in this, people have kind of forgot about on how big of an impact that he had, and who knows how last season would have turned out. JP Estrella, he has been unbelievable. Way more physical than he was his freshman year. You could tell that he has gained a lot of weight.
Yeah, lower body strength too. He doesn't get moved off the block as easily.
No. Yeah. Still's got the hops. He's just aggressive in the post. A fantastic player. And Gillespie is obviously a fantastic shooter where once he gets hot, it's hard to stop him, Yeah. And there's things as well, I'd like to see, Bishop Boswell, kind of step up a little bit. I know that he was dealing with a little bit of an injury last week or earlier in the week against, who was played? Northern Florida. I was at the game. I forgot who we played. And Jalen Carey as well, the Vanderbilt transfer. I like to see him be able to get accumulated, but I mean, there is some hope there with Dwayne Brown, the freshman, the forward himself. Akpar is going to continue to figure things out. He's going to be fine, and I mean, Amari Abram and Ethan Berger and both be guys that are just going to have to learn just to be able to calm down a little bit with the basketball and just play a little bit safe, especially Berg. But there's the potentials there. I mean, and this is why you kind of have those games where you play like a Rice and a Tennessee State and a Northern Kentucky and Mercer. These are the games you kind of clean it up, and then, Thanksgiving week, they'll have a couple good matchups where, they'll face Rutgers, who, I mean, they should win comfortably against Rutgers. But, and you're talking about that very next day, they'll play the number one team in the country, Houston. So, I think they're going to continue to develop, and I mean, I think the ceiling is high as a Final Four appearance for this team. I really do. I mean, they have the depth for it.
I think they have the depth, and you've got a player that is getting stronger in a mint. He could be a guy that, I mean, arguably and it looks like a long field goal for. Did he miss it? Oh my goodness! Washington missed the field goal. 10 seconds left, probably heading to overtime. 13 all. I am still stunned the Dolphins didn't get – they have had the ball inside the red zone. Unbelievable. Again, just abysmal football. Horrible.
Bad. I mean,
bad
football teams.
Teams/franchises, yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, just unbelievable. I mean,
if they were hoping that this would get Europeans and Spaniards fired up about American football, this might have set.
No, they're going to need to set off some flares or something over there. I mean, literally some. I'm not condoning or saying, hey, yeah, we need to have the violence or anything. I mean, but literally, at this point, some wacko needs to be running across the field with a bazooka, I mean, it's bad. I mean, there is a wide open pass to Jalen Waddle, and he drops it. This is just bad football. It's horrible. Scratch the idea of playing these early games of. I mean, this is like a Pee-wee league level stuff. I mean. No one's even near Jalen Waddle, and he drops it. I mean, I don't know of any footsteps that he could have even heard there. I don't know. But 4 seconds left. They're on their own 46. I don't even know how they got the ball. So far. I mean, is this kicker oh, no, they're going to try a deep throw. But anyways, yeah, they throw a screen to, and he's going to pitch it. No, he's just going to hold on to it. I'm guessing Achan's just going to pad his stats there a little bit. All right, so going to overtime, 13 all. You mentioned Tennessee, though, and we mentioned them. Just real quick, I want to touch on their schedule. When you're looking at, man alive, you're looking at this schedule coming up. So you have Rice this week.
Mm-hmm.
You have Tennessee State coming over from Nashville, downtown Nashville. Then you get Rutgers on TNT Monday, the 24th, the week of Thanksgiving. And then back-to-back. So that's that holiday tournament.
Yeah.
Then we get Houston, the number one ranked Houston. Well, we'll find out a little bit more about us then. But you know what? I mean, just show up, defend. They're gonna just physicality. Sampson's teams are gonna push. Now, then and I don't expect us to beat Houston, but it'd be nice. It'd be a nice to see us start developing a little bit.
Oh yeah,
man, this is a pretty solid schedule. Rutgers will be a stiff test. Houston, I mean, if it's anything, Rutgers is anything like what they were last year. Then at Syracuse, that's always a tough place.
And the thing is, too, if this like players era tournament that they're playing in Vegas, where they're playing Rutgers and Houston, there's like a little bit of a weirder format that they do. But some of the teams it also includes where if Tennessee beats both of them, both Rutgers and Houston, I mean, there is a possibility that they could either play Alabama, Baylor, Kansas, Creighton, Gonzaga, or Michigan in that title game as well. And so you're talking about there is a chance that Tennessee is going to wind up playing 2 top 10 teams back-to-back days.
Yeah.
And this is honestly, I mean, this is exactly like what we need. I think this is a great test, overall. But then, it sets us up nicely as well for December where, in December we play at the Carrier Dome or whatever the hell it's called now against Syracuse. And then we play in Nashville against a pretty damn good Illinois team. And then right after that, you got like a little 10-day break, but you play Louisville at the Food City Center. So,
yeah.
I mean, this is a pretty good non-conference schedule, and I mean a hell of a lot better from last year's for sure. And then I mean we've already seen just how good the SEC is going to be. I mean Arkansas looks good, Kentucky's always talented,
Yep.
Alabama held their own against Purdue, who is a fantastic team. Florida is going to be solid. So
did that game surprise you, Purdue, Alabama? I mean, obviously Purdue was I think they were a small favorite, right?
I mean, I'm not necessarily too surprised. I mean, there's just a lot.
I think they're a Final Four team.
I think
sure.
Purdue as well.
Yeah.
I mean, their post play is fantastic, and whatever.
Our very own Bob Baskerville, he's got to be happy.
Oh,
He's got to be excited.
1,000%.
Hey, Clowney.
And they got that, whatever the name of that white point guard that they have that that was great last year. I mean, they've had the same 3-point guards there for like the last 25 years. It feels
and
like
they grabbed a key piece in the portal too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're legit. I think of all the teams right now, they're the one that I could say with most confidence. Even though Houston, is the defending champ, I feel like they're that team that I just go, yeah, they're getting to a Final Four, because they're well coached, they scout well. And there's so much. I mean, that like you said, the point guard is that is huge today. When you have that point guard, that is just that to me is solid. But you're right. I mean, a Tuesday night, December 16th, you're in that. The women are going to want to do some shopping. That's a good night. It's an early enough start too.
Yeah,
you can get home, get some dinner, get to the arena, and not be up. To 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Getting out of there. But yeah, and then at Arkansas, which is a Saturday, January 3rd, right after the new year, that's where it gets real. Then Texas here, at Florida on a Saturday at noon. You get down there in that aquatic center for a gym. And so yeah, I mean there's some the SEC schedule is. It is what it is every year, I'm intrigued by the Vegas tourney happening out there. This is going to be a good test to turn around, play a Rutgers team, then turn around and play a Houston team. Who does Houston play? Do you know in that day before? I'd love to know if they're playing a solid team. I know they play Auburn. Don't they play Auburn
they play Auburn
today or
at
something?
3, on ESPN. They play Syracuse in that first game, which, I mean, Syracuse is a little bit better than they were last season for sure.
Do you think Stephen Effin Pearl gives Auburn an advantage over Kelvin Sampson today?
Absolutely not. I think the Stephen Pearl experiment is going to be nothing short of a disaster. At Auburn.
Look, another turnover in the Madrid game. I mean, geez,
there's got to be.
I'm telling you, man, that early that schedule over there. I mean, it is just awful. I mean, not a bad ball by. Well, no, he didn't see the defender. He went. Mariota went for Zach Ertz, and 23, the cornerback, stepped in front of him, and. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like 1st and 10 on the Washington 35 or 33-yard line. Let's see if Mike McDaniels leaves points on the field again. They've had the ball in there. Again, what coach with less than 2 minutes down there inside the red zone and on 4th down, 4th and 1. Take the points there.
Yeah.
And you're going up against Mariota. What the worst possible outcome is Mariota, gets a fluke pass, but they don't have any receivers right now.
Yeah.
Everything is underneath, but it looks like the Dolphins now 1st and 10 at the 23 as Devon Achane nearly took that one to the house. And I don't need that to happen, though. I need because I'm playing him in one of my leagues. But anyways, so looking at NFL, let's take our halftime second hour break here, neutral zone. Maybe when we come back, we'll have a final in Madrid. But there again, I mean, because all you have to do with a turnover in the in the overtime rules, they got the ball first, Commanders. So all you got to do is just kick a field goal here. I mean, I don't know. Mike McDaniels is trying to get it down. I don't know. Reinvent the wheel. But more Neutral Zone coming up after these messages, again, presented by Fleet Tire. Come on back for more right here on Fan Rod Radio.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event, you need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together.
Attention service members and veterans. Introducing the Griffin Law Firm, your trusted ally in military legal matters. From court martials to benefit claims, at Griffin Law, your mission is their mission. Here's VFL Marshall Griffin.
As a veteran and retired military attorney, I've successfully defended lifelong benefits and helped preserve professional futures. So I know that when you hire a military justice lawyer, you maximize your chance to get relief. With my unique experience, I can advocate for you because there's no military matter that's too big or too small. Let us help you make these critical decisions that could affect the rest of your life. Remain silent. Request counsel. Call Griffin Law.
For a free consultation, call 888-707-4282. That's 888-707-4282. Or just visit griffinlawdefense.com.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event, you need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together.
Man, you know I love me some Pearl Jam. I appreciate that. But listen, I cannot hear that song without just... Have you seen the video Adam Sandler doing it on Saturday Night Live?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Classic.
Yeah. Oh, my God. It's so great. Love me some Adam Sandler. And anyways, Dolphins win 16-13 in Madrid. A barn burner. Jeez.
Good Lord.
If you'd like to jump in, we've got time for maybe a quick call or two, an 865-966-3435, maybe a fake TR call. I don't know, man. But the Dolphins get a W. Dolphins, what? I think now that gives them 4 wins on the year. The Commanders now have lost, they've lost how many in a row? But
5 in a row.
5 in a row. Wow. Well, I had Dolphins and Jalen Waddle 50 receiving yards on a parlay. Let's see what you think about my chances on that. Yeah, so Waddle barely got there. I hit the under straight, 46 and a half, excuse me. But I have that parlayed, a $25 play to win 223.11. James Cook anytime touchdown.
Yep.
Bills money line. Josh Jacobs has a touchdown in 14 consecutive games. They're playing the Giants, who's been a funnel for opposing running backs. Although you do get some Jameis Winston today in the Big Apple. 20 to 25 mile an hour winds, though, expected. I was considering, before I heard that, Drew, you know me, I like to ladder. I like to go for the gusto. I thought about laddering his passing yards up to 300. You could have gotten that earlier today for a robust plus 560.
Oh,
for 300 yards. Now, he doesn't have a Malik Neighbors, but you know Jameis, he's never seen a ball that he's going to audible out of a run play and throw it.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that I like it as well. Again, my biggest play I would say would be Eagles later today. I really like that. But look, there's some advantages. There's some matchups you could certainly take advantage of today. One being Steelers give up a ton of points to opposing wide receivers. So, pick your poison there with Higgins anytime touchdown or Jamar Chase. I actually think a sneaky one too because the Bengals have given up a ton of touchdowns. The Bengals have been a funnel for opposing tight ends. So a Pat Freiermuth. I love that name. Anytime touchdown. If you want to get crazy, you could go for the big guy from Georgia, the tight end. Loves throwing to him, does Aaron Rodgers. But I think that's a game right there. Again, with these matchups here, I have James Cook. I need James Cook to get home to hit pay dirt. Bills money line, although I've not been a big fan of Buffalo. Cold weather. I've seen some pictures there, and it is cold, blistery cold there. And then Josh Jacobs anytime touchdown. What are my chances there for that to get home? I need those 3 in the 1 o'clock slate. James Cook anytime touchdown. Bills money line. Josh Jacobs anytime touchdown to flip 25 into 223.
I think it's pretty.
I think the Bills money line's the one that's concerned me.
That's probably going to be the one that's like the most iffy. Yeah. I've even saw that ESPN Bet has Buffalo's 6.5 point favorites in this game, which is crazy.
It is crazy. I would take. I think that's a good middle right there. Yeah. I think Buffalo to win between 1 and 5 points. But I think of all the scenarios there. Tampa, even though they're still without, Bucky, Irvin, and still without Chris Godwin, both are expected back next week. I still love Ekbuka. I have him in two shares of him in fantasy this year, and he's been great. Front runner for Rookie of the Year, but man, Travion Henderson, who you made a big trade for this week. He's going to have something to say about it.
Oh, yeah.
And Jackson Dart, had he not gotten hurt, now they're thinking he may be back next week. But, Jackson Dart could certainly have a little say in that, too, for what he's done and the life he's pumped into that franchise.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting, though, that we're sitting here talking about it, and They've offered me a cash out for $52.13. I'm going to let it ride for the 223.11. But Jeez. Let's see. I just saw a stat. Commanders have had a win total of 8 or more 9 times since 2000. They are now 9-0 to the under in those seasons. That's pretty fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I saw an under today. That was all day. And they have been they have given up so many points lately. I just felt like it was where the game was going to be played at. Mariota is very limited throwing the football. So I'm going to give you a long shot. You talked about a take. Here's you a long shot. Anytime touchdown today in the Vikings game. Josh Oliver. Again, it's a matchup base. He's plus 1,200. Backup tight end for they use him in some 2 tight end sets against the Bears. Listen, the Bears have been, I'm telling you, 2 matchups in the league. Tight ends play against the Bears and running backs against the Bears too, obviously, which I think Aaron Jones could have a nice day today. But the Bengals. So, again, I don't think volume suggests that Pat Freiermuth's going to be a guy that gets you 50, 60 yards. But, man, he could get you one, maybe a second touchdown for like plus 800. Those are some guys I like.
I kind of like, honestly, if there's going to be like one game that I like just solely bet on the money line, I kind of like Bears over the Vikings.
Do you? Okay, you're with Titans Bill then.
I know the Vikings have obviously won, that season
There's something
matchup.
about the Bears in their second half run. Maybe a smarter play on my end, because I do like the Vikings, is the Vikings first half money line. And then Caleb Williams does Caleb Williams things there in the second half.
I mean, even the matchup predictor now has it pretty close to a 50-50 now on ESPN's analytics, with Chicago 48.7% chance of winning this one. I don't know. It's just like, you're talking about McCarthy's going to have to play, because I believe Wentz is out for this one as well. Can McCarthy really be able to, play a solid all 4 quarters, play clean football against a relatively good Bears defense too? And I don't know, man. I really just don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't either. I don't know. I wouldn't touch the spread. In fact, if I did, I would lean in that Bills game.
Yeah.
But I'm going to stick with my guns and say the Vikings get a win, but it's close. I definitely like them on the first half money line. And again, the big one, I love the Eagles tonight. So we'll see. I think there's teams like, again, the Chiefs. I think they win the game. Now, Denver may cover the 4.5. I think it's a little disrespect there, but I think you could take Eagles money line, Chiefs money line, Bills money line, put that together, and you're getting like almost plus 300. It's like plus 270, something like that. That's some pretty solid value right there. I don't know. Your thoughts, though? Any other anytime touchdown scores that you like?
Anytime TD scores.
I kind of like Theo Johnson he's been hot here lately.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Jacoby Myers in his new home with Jacksonville could be a decent option.
I mean, what do you think of like Rachaad White anytime TD for the Bucks? I mean, I feel like Ibuka's kind of like always like the go-to now with Bucky.
Tez Johnson's been a guy here lately. Cade Otton, I mean those would be guys that I would, certainly lean towards.
Maybe even if you're trying to get a little dicey, maybe even in that Seahawks-Rams game, Kenneth Walker third, anytime TD. See them try to punch in one.
Yeah. Now here's an interesting. You want to get crazy? Go with first touchdown in the first touchdown market. As you know, that's a little bit tougher. But I will give you 3 that I really like today. James Cook, first touchdown.
Yeah.
Set the tone, get a lead there, take a little pressure off of your MVP level quarterback there because he's feeling like he's having to do it all. Again, he's without one of his key receivers today, but you know he's going to be looking for his tight ends. And but again, James Cook, a first touchdown. I need him for an anytime, but a first time would get you home at both. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey against Arizona, first touchdown. Rashee Rice against my Broncos, first touchdown. Man, those are some pretty solid odds right there. In fact, if we put those together, let's just see what those would be. First touchdown. What else do you like there?
He said James Cook.
Yeah, let's see. James Cook, first touchdown.
What do you think of Josh Jacobs anytime TD?
I've got him all over anytime. Yeah, first touchdown. I mean, you could. So James Cook plus 380, first touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Then we mentioned Christian McCaffrey, first touchdown scorer, plus 300. And then who was the third one I mentioned? Oh, Rashee Rice.
Yeah.
First touchdown, plus 650. That's plus 14,300. $5 to win $715.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
It's not bad at all, is it?
No.
Not bad at all.
Yeah,
I'm putting that in right now.
Yeah.
I
would even argue you could even put in Christian McCaffrey for first time TD as well in that matchup against the Cardinals at 4.
Oh, first touchdown?
McCaffrey?
Yeah, I have
plus
him.
340?
Yeah, I have all 3 of them right there.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah. Now, if you get crazy on there and you want to do something like, hey, the Giants score the first touchdown and Theo Johnson first touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is to hit 3. I was so close one time. I'm not even kidding you. I remember like it was yesterday. It was about 3 or 4 years ago. I had Dallas Goedert. He got home for me. In the Eagles game, I had Travis Kelce.
Mm-hmm.
He got home. The third one was Oak Ridge's very own T. Higgins. Burrow throws a fade to him, and it was off of his fingertips. All 3. I was up because I had won, and very rarely do I put big on it, but I can't remember, just vaguely I put like 75. It was some random number.
Yeah.
I put like $70, $75 on it to win $100,000.
Oh my gosh,
dude! They were offering me a cash out, a measly. When I say a measly, it was like almost $2,200. And I was like, when they threw that fade, and as soon as because then they had to settle for a field goal.
Yeah.
And it was a first touchdown, so they literally the cash out went to like $170 or something. I was like, nah, I'm definitely letting it ride now.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's a crapshoot, man. It's it is what it is. But again, appreciate Fleet Tire sponsoring Neutral Zone, 111 East Woodland Avenue for all your tire needs. Get over there, check them out. Fleet Tire, Jerry and Terry and the crew over there are going to take great care of you. Check out their rebates, too. Obviously, you can go online and look those up. We'll continue to give you some of those rebates as they send them our way. We'll gladly give those to you. For all the major tire brand needs, they've got you covered. Fleet Tire, 111 East Woodland Avenue. We are about to get out of here. Anything else that you really, really like today? Again, I hope Titans-Bills right. I hope I'm wrong, but I see Kansas City beating. I think the Ravens stay on track.
Yeah.
Later against the Browns. I wouldn't touch the spread, but I think them as a piece on a money line or take them down to -2.5. I think they win by field goal, certainly, and beat the Browns. But these NFL games, that total's only 37.5. I was telling you that, too. They're expected really crazy wins off the lake.
Yeah.
There, Lake Erie, Again, a very unpredictable place to predict the weather. I think that Rams-Seahawks, I mean, arguably you could say the 4 best teams in the NFC are matched up today. Rams-Seahawks being one game. Tonight, Lions-Eagles. I think you could arguably make that case that those are the 4 teams in the NFC.
Oh, yeah.
That everybody's, got on their radar. But anyways, we really appreciate it. Again, Dolphins win in overtime. Appreciate Fan Run Radio allowing us to do this. Drew, I appreciate you as always. We'll catch you guys next Sunday, hopefully after breaking down a Tennessee victory, in the Swamp. We'll catch you again next week. Go Vols.